showing here. We're at the Day of the Dead Festival in Lake Worth, Florida. Today marks a special day in a lot of different Latino and Hispanic cultures. Mainly, this day is to honor and revere past ancestors who passed away, you and your family, even pets. And today is a day for our families to join together, friends, musicians. There's dance, there's awesome food, a lot of different spices. There's different types of drinks, ice cones, jewelry, plants. Everything's homemade, and it's been really fun so far. I'm getting to know a lot of what the history of this holiday is, as well as getting to know the families and the children as well. And I hope you guys get to learn a little bit something new too. Show and Heal is at the Day of the Dead Festival in Lake Worth. We're here with Johanna and her beautiful daughter Bianca, and they're going to explain what is so important about Day of the Dead. You want to go ahead?
Yep. So Day of the Dead is basically like to take the time and remember people that passed away a few generations ago. So like if you have a grandpa and they die, you can make an altar and try to remember them. So it could be a pet, it could be a person, so that's basically,
yeah, it's a beautiful tradition that is customary in the Americas. Not a lot of people know, but in Bolivia and Ecuador they also celebrate Day of the Dead. Not only in Mexico, in Guatemala they have their own tradition of the altars. So it's a beautiful way to connect with the past.
Do you also have a shrine at your home?
We do.
Yep.
We make it every year, and it's very special. We make it with a lot of emotion because we remember my family members that already passed away, and it's the only way that I can teach my kids about my father, by the way, who passed away when I was 10. So it's something that keeps us close as a family.
And it doesn't make you so sad about it because it's like your father or all the ancestors are there with you, right? Because you probably put pictures, you probably put things that mean...
Sometimes it makes you really sad just to think about it. But sometimes you feel really happy that you're celebrating their day and remembering them so that they wouldn't feel like so alone.
Exactly.
Who do you have in your shrine, Bianca?
Well, this might sound a little bit ridiculous, but I have chickens, you know? We used to have chickens and
yeah, my
they
kids
passed away.
love putting their pets and you know, but we have my father, my great-grandmother, and for my husband's side we also have his sister and his nephew who died in Honduras, and we weren't able to go to their funeral, so we have a picture of them in our altar, and we are allowed, you know, to put the flowers and remember their lives.
You guys also have very gorgeous outfits today. Do you want to let the audience know what it signifies?
Well, we have like these really awesome costumes and face painting because we want to represent like the dead, and you know this part is human, like, and the other part is skeleton. So we could like we have the dresses, we've got skulls on it, and we represent. We can be like Catrinas. Catrinas are like mistresses of life and death.
Well, and it's also a representation of like celebration of our lives. We believe like a lot of people don't acknowledge that one day are gonna die. And
what?
So I think it's a very telling situation. Like you have to kind of like celebrate every day in your life, and this is like a celebration. We are celebrating people that already passed away, but we are also celebrating our lives. So people that usually dress up in this day, they have very personal way to express it. So dressing up is a personal way to express a celebration. of being alive.
And I like the light, so you don't need you can use this in the dark as well, right? You
Well,
find
yeah.
your way in the dark.
Well, we participate also at the Day of the Dead processional in Fort Lauderdale. So they do these at night, and we usually do it. You know, it's nice to have some lights, and it looks really good.
Would you like to explain why you have monarchs?
Oh yes. This year I chose to have monarchs because the theme of our altar, we made one of the altars here at the gallery. It's about immigration and how immigration laws that are unjust are separating many children from their families. So the monarchs are one of the symbolic figures of migration. I don't know if you knew, like these butterflies fly to Mexico every year, and not the first generation make it to Mexico. It's until the third generation that makes it to Mexico, which means, like, you know, they're the symbolic figure of migration. And it's a way to stand with all the immigrants in the world. Like, we are free in this world, we are supposed to be free in this world, and it breaks my heart to believe that there's so many children that are losing their parents because of immigration laws.
So if there's a wall, the monarchs probably can't get to Mexico, right?
Well, a lot of them are gonna die, and right now a lot of kids are suffering and in fear because, you know, they're in fear of losing their parents. And I don't know, as a mom, it breaks my heart because I cannot even imagine losing your mom or your dad when you're a child in that kind of a way, you know. It's very traumatic for a child.
I have a friend who her husband might be deported, and they have 2 children here, so that's a possibility.
Well,
Likely possibility.
that's horrible, and that's a horrible reality. It shouldn't be happening right now. I feel that we should advocate for better immigration laws overall, like everywhere. And because it's not only here in the United States, we have so many issues in other places of the world. So that's why we are kind of advocating for the children of the world and in general, you know. So we are happy that Jose asked us to make an altar this year.
And we'll also check out the altar after that.
For sure.
How are you doing today?
Great.
So I wanted to talk to you about how has either your skin color or where your family's from affected you. Have you ever, for instance, been bullied?
Well, I've been bullied, but not because of my skin color, just because sometimes I'm new to the school and I ask them questions and they get mad at me for no reason. And she says that just because I tape something, she gets mad at me because I tape something. And I'm like, you tape also, we all have the same unique things, like taping. Well, not really, but
What do you mean taping? Like
taping.
scotch tape or recording tape?
Like tape, just taping papers, you know. It's really dumb. Some kids are cruel. And
How did it make you feel when that student wasn't nice to you?
well, it made me really sad because I wanted to be her friend and I was always like trying to be her friend. And I told the teacher because she started doing like other mean stuff to me. Like when I sat at lunch, there was like a place and I was gonna sit there, and then she just sat next to me and screamed in my ear, "Move!" And my ear like started hurting, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna move. And it was really sad. And still, some people like I put my lunchbox on the table, they just throw it on the floor. It's really sad.
Sorry to hear that. What do you wish that student would have done? Like, what do you wish she would have done? Do you wish that she had tried to get to know you? Maybe see past differences? What do you think is a suggestion?
Like, to let her know that we all are the same, like the same people, and we all have like the same rights, and we are all people. Even though we're unique, we're unique in our ways, but we're all humans, and that's what we have all in common. And kids should have their rights, but still, you shouldn't be like cruel to other kids just because you want to.
What do you think about immigration?
Well, sometimes I think it's really sad because you could just leave your child in a different state. It would be really sad just because you need to go to work or something. And what if you had a job already and they told you, come on, just get out of the state? It would be a really sad thing.
Do you think it's fair for people from some countries not to be allowed into the United States, even if they have family members, or those who are already in this country and who are escaping their violence, lack of opportunity? Do you think it's fair for them to go back to their home country?
I don't think it's fair at all because maybe at their country they have problems with their house. Maybe there's war there, and then they tell them to just go over there, and it would be really sad for them and their kids, because the kids need to survive and live a good life with educational problems.
Where is your family from?
Well, my mom is from Colombia, Bogota, and my dad is from Honduras. And
what do you think your life would have been like if you were born either in Colombia or Honduras?
Well, it would have been a little bit different because I would have been to a poor environment, and I wouldn't get the education I get right now. And science and math are my most important part of my life because I love science and I love math, and I want to be a scientist when I grow up.
That's awesome. Do you feel safe when you're going to school here?
Yeah, but sometimes when kids bully me, I feel wow, I just don't want to be here. Luckily, I kind of told the teacher, and he did something about it, and then we just became friends.
But if you went back to if you went to your family's countries, do you think you would have been safe?
Well, to tell you the truth, not really. My mom told me how she struggled with men that were trying to attack her, and in the bus that people were strangers just talked to her all the time, and that must have been really dangerous because imagine if you're just sitting there and then some stranger, homeless guy, just talks to you about stuff, asks you where you live, and you just don't want to be rude, and you're just a kid, and you just tell them where you live, and that's dangerous.
Happy you're here. And if anything ever happens at school, you can talk to your teachers like you've done, you can talk to your close friend, talk to your parents. You never have to feel alone, because what you're going through, guess how many kids? At least 3 to 4 out of 5 kids are being bullied in some subtle way or some outright way, physically, emotionally, verbally. So there are more people who are being bullied than are bullied.
Yep.
So you never have to feel alone about that, but also seek out help and help others too. Stand up against bullying, which I'm sure you're doing anyways. What do you want the world to know about you that they don't know?
That I'm really smart and I'm capable of being a good friend, and that I don't want to hurt anyone, and I just want to have justice in the world and be kind to everyone, even though they're not nice to me.
What do you do for fun?
I like to play the violin, and I like to go to orchestra and talk to my friends and play with them.
Do you have friends from all over the world, or are they just from one part of the world?
Well, I have some friends all around the country, and from North Carolina, some from India, a little bit more out of the country. But I've got friends from inside of Florida, but they just live far away.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. We learned a lot, and I wish you the most success in your science background and your scientific discoveries so much.
Yeah. So this altar represents all the children in our community that deserve to have a family. We have the artwork that a lot of the children in our community created last September for our activity in Revolution Central America. So every child we ask to draw a picture of their family. So they draw a picture of their own family.
We also have some pan de muerto right here.
We make pan de muerto. Like every altar and ofrenda has to have like some food item that you offer to the.
It smells good.
And we have a scene here of families, different type of families here. But this is like the protesta, which is like like an activist from Esqueletos, from the other side. And they're asking people here in this side to think about it, to think what we're doing right now with immigration, with humanity. Are we putting people first or are we putting money first? So we have like a little signs, we wanted to create a bridge instead of a wall. So that's why we created a bridge. We asked everybody to, instead of putting walls against other people, and we start becoming, like actual connection instead of separation. The flowers also symbolize, like there's always a reborn cycle, the same as the butterflies. And my husband created the heart, which is like almost like a crying heart, but it's still a heart in flames that is, still alive. So we are hopeful that this can stop.